Hey, Chedrick, how are you?
Good morning, Aaron.
So first, I want to open with saying congratulations.
Thank you so much.
To the new senator-elect, right?
Yes.
Okay, so first, I just want to kind of let people know, too, who may not know, that you are a Marine veteran, fire captain, community member, and a leader. And so first, I want to talk about, I think that we know what you're doing, right, and what you've done. But we want to know more about you. And so first, before we get into that, I just want to ask you, how did it feel when you were in that lodge, you were waiting to hear the results? You had people there, hundreds of people there, to support you. How did it feel when you heard that you had won?
Surreal, right? I understand. I was good. I was good in the back.
Yeah.
Listening to the results. I got a phone call from Mr. Tunney, so I respect him for that.
Yeah.
And there's like, all right, you did it. You won this precinct. You won this precinct. We're still waiting for votes to come in. So I was good. I was calm. My parents had came back to congratulate me.
Yeah.
And one of my best friends. So still was good. I was like, okay, we did it, right? Just normal, ready to go. It takes you back to like being on a fire truck. I'm in the rig. Okay, we got this fire coming. What do I need to do? Who's gonna get there first? Just planning. And then we opened the doors and I saw the sea of supporters and I just lost it. Like I immediately lost it. I held my composure till I got up there and they were just cheering for us, not just for me, but for us, for everyone in that room. Then I was just couldn't contain myself. So I had to take a minute. And it's amazing to go from where we were September prior to that when I launched to
Where you are now?
May 5th that night at 10:30 at night. That's when it was real. Like, man, people believe in you. Like,
yeah.
You got work to do. I was like, oh.
Yes, you have work to do. And it's so interesting. I was thinking about, because I remember seeing the commercials with your mom talking about you. And so to kind of get into that part of it, how was it for her? And I know your parents were both there, but as a mom, right, I just wonder how do you think she felt? What did she say?
Initially when they talked to her about it, she was like real hesitant. It's like, nope. Because you got a couple of pictures of you, we want you to do a voiceover. And so I didn't even know my mom had done it.
Oh.
I was shooting the other portions of the commercial. So we get done and my mom's like, okay, because she came to the shoot with me. She's like, okay, I'm gonna take off, her and my aunt. I said, okay, love you, bye, see you later.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see the commercial or knew it was out. And then I start getting texts like, who's your mom? We love your mom. I was like, what are you talking about? How are you stalkers talking about? And so finally I got on there and I saw it and I was blown away, and going to the doors, meeting people, they were like, you know what, I like you, but I love your mom.
Oh, wow.
I was like,
okay.
I was like, all right, I need to have a fundraiser. I need to have a fundraiser with mom. So like, and like you're saying, Aaron, a lot of those moms that resonate, like as old as we get, we never stop being our mom's baby. And so that resonated with so many mothers, expecting mothers, those who want to be mothers. Like your mom, I don't know her, but I gotta meet her. I gotta meet her. Like every other door is like, I love the commercial with your mom. I love the commercial. Like you, I'm tired of seeing you in my mailbox, but I love the commercial with your mom. And so,
genuine. Yeah, it was sincere. So,
so it was good. I really appreciate, tough upbringing. Not tough and, situationally, but just tough upbringing, foundational upbringing.
Sure.
And so we take that and grow with it. So my mom's always been there for me, biggest cheerleader, biggest supporter.
We ride. We're gonna ride. Yes. Yeah. No, I love that. And so as you kind of talked about that, I wanna ask you, who were you before the titles, right? Just a little bit about your upbringing, because one thing that, and I know that people feel like they know you now, right? Because they've seen you in their mailboxes, they've seen you on the kitchen table, and they've seen you on commercials, but I think that one thing that people kind of said a lot was, who is this guy?
Right.
Right? Where did he come from? Like, you just appeared, out of the sky.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about who you were before, being a fire chief and a Marine. Who said you?
I was just a young man who didn't know what path to take in life. Just trying to make it through high school. As we all been there, like, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? And I was a good student. I was a lazy student, though. Like many of us, I had the drive. I just didn't have that push, and so I didn't want to go to school right away, go to college right away. I didn't want to go work in a factory right away. And so my grandmother passed my senior year of high school, and it really, she still lived in Louisiana, where my folks are from, and I had a pretty bad experience down in the South, just one. And so just in this space, and I was like, you know what? I got started hearing about debt and stuff. So like, I can't go into debt.
Right.
My mom always told me, save your money, save your money.
Yeah.
Nickels, pennies, dimes, quarters, always save your money, build up. So I was like, well, I want to go to school, but not right now. So I was looking at the military. They had the GI Bill and things like that. I was like, I've never really been a military type of person. Nobody ain't gonna be yelling at me.
So I'm telling you, I was like, that's not for me. So you didn't really have, you weren't one of those kids that desired to be in the military growing up. Okay.
No.
Okay.
We'll get to it, but most of the things that I'm doing, I never had a inclination I could do them or had a desire to do them. Sure. I got to do something. So initially I was going to go to the Army, and the Army recruiter kind of screwed me over. And lo and behold, who's waiting there for me? The Marine recruiter. So talked to the Marine recruiter, and I was like, I don't know, the Marines are tough. I watched Heartbreak Ridge and Full Metal Jacket, so I'm like, these guys are crazy. But if people ask me this, what made you join the Marines? We have the same birthday. So the Marine Corps birthday was November 10th, 1775, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Tun Tavern. My birthday is November 10th, 1975. So 200 years to the day. So I'm like, that's it?
Like that was a sign,
That was it. And so there was an opportunity to go to active duty or to the reserves. I was like, I don't know if I'm cut out for active duty. So I joined the reserves and went to boot camp, went to my training, my school training, my MOS training, military occupational specialty. Came back home. I said, I just spent 7 months learning all this leadership, and now what? I'm back home in Saginaw. So I enrolled at Delta College. I got a job at UPS working in the morning from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. Worked at a grocery store as a bagger, started off as a bagger, went up to cashier, and I worked at Eddie Bauer in the mall. So as a young man coming out of that, 18 years old, four jobs and going to school. It just kept building up who I was. Never wanted to be dependent on anyone.
Yeah. I understand that.
Had the opportunity, I met a firefighter playing basketball. I used to play a lot of basketball when I was younger. Met a firefighter, said, yeah, we're getting ready to hire. Once again, never thought about ever being a firefighter. I was like, man, that's dumb. I'm not running into no building while people were running out. And so, for whatever reason, it piqued my interest. So then I found out a buddy of mine that was in the Marines had just got hired there. So I talked to him. I said, you know what? Let me give it a shot. I was still working at UPS. I was waiting to become a full-time driver. I was like, I have nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Went down, signed up, went through all the testing. This is back when fire department lists being on the fire department was very challenging. So I ended up being the number 7th person on the list out of 1,100 people that applied that year.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we hired 10 off that list. And I was like, man, number 7 out of 1,100 people that applied.
Wow. Yeah.
And then I was the first African-American hired by the city since they ended the federal decree in 1990. So most of the firefighters that were before me came under a federal decree where the city of Saginaw had to hire so many minorities. and have a diverse workforce. So I was the first. So between those men, women, African American, Hispanic that got hired, I got hired 9 years after them. So I'm kind of in my own little space there. You know, not that they were different, but like,
sure,
I set this trend, and then a little bit fast forward, it wasn't until almost 18 years later that we hired our next African American. So I was in my own little space there, but we still work together. Fast forward, I did a couple of deployments, and just grew, just kept working. So when I was home, I focused a lot on community service, little things. We did the Jerry Lewis Telethon, which was big, you know, muscular dystrophy, Labor Day weekend. So I never had a Labor Day weekend to go up to the cabin or go down to the city or nothing for like my first 15 years, because for 2 weekends, the weekend before Labor Day and the weekend of Labor Day, 10 hours a day, I'm out in the middle of the street, holding that boot. You know, Jerry.
Well, and I want to add that, because that was one thing that I know I saw quite a bit, right, was that, you know, you were out in the community before that. And and I always find it interesting, because it's this idea that a person feels if they don't know your name, then your name is not known, right? And that's not true.
No.
And so just because people did not see you or notice you, right, you were doing a lot of things out in the community prior to this.
I think you use the word "notice" me, right? I don't do things to get noticed.
Right.
I've never been a attention seeker type of individual. If I come there to assist an organization, I'm going to move the boxes. I'm going to get my hands dirty. I'm going to put the potatoes in the car. I'm going to sit down and talk to the kid that is sitting off, like, hey, why are you sitting off, right?
Right.
I've never sought glory. And so you won't see me in pictures. You won't know my name, because I'd rather not even tell you my name. I just want to come and do the work and just like, this guy came by. And I'm good with being, you know, anonymous. This guy. But I know if he's there, somebody's working right there.
The job will be done. And you're a little bit more conservative and reserved. So just so people know, like, we met in the SVSU Henry Marsh
Institute for Public Policy.
Thank you for saying all of it. Yes, and you know, it was really interesting, because I was super excited to be a part of that. And you know, you meet so many different people from different political backgrounds and just experiences, you know, life experiences. And so I remember when you were first there, you did not say much. Like, you were very quiet, and me, I'm not so much, right? And so I'm talking to people and because I'm like a kid in a candy store, right? I love meeting new people, and so I was really excited to kind of embark on what we were there for. And so, but you were very quiet, very reserved. Did not speak much at first. I know you spoke to Heather a little bit, because you all knew each other from high school, and. So anyway, it was just so interesting to now see you in this space, right? And I knew, I read your, you know, biography, and I'm like, oh, he's a fire captain, that's cool and everything. And so I know, did you ever feel like you wanted to run for, like, office? Was that something that was in your thought process at first?
No. I didn't know I wanted to be a Marine, didn't know I wanted to be a firefighter. So this all started, I retired from the Marines in 2024.
Oh, okay.
The next month, I was State Senator Kristen McDonald-Rivets' guest in the Capitol for Memorial Day service. So her and I had a chance to talk about, like, just who I am. Right. Once again, you can read the bio. It seems pretty impressive. It's just a guy that's doing something, I guess.
You've done a lot. So
So we had a conversation. We talked. And I was very close to her district assistant at the time, Kevin Hayes, because he went to school with my son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Kevin's a go-getter.
Yeah, Kevin's a go-getter.
Yeah.
And so I didn't take anything from it. Like, great, I got to sit down with a state senator, talk to her. At the time, I knew she had announced to run for Congress.
Sure.
So one day, I was just I was in a space at that time. I was going through some personal stuff. And I was like, man, I need to get out of this house more. This was the first time in my life, like I said, when I came home from the Marines, I had 4 jobs. So this was the first time I only had one job. I was just a firefighter. And so I was like,
which is a pretty big deal.
Big deal. So so I was like, man, I got to find something to do on my days off. And for whatever reason, I went to the Michigan State Senate.
Yeah.
They had a tab that said employment. I clicked on the tab, and lo and behold, there was this district assistant job, part-time, for Kristen McDonald Rivet.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder what they mean by part-time because of my work schedule.
Sure.
I was like, you know what?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So I sent in my application, and her chief of staff and her legislative director called me up, and they remember me. That's like, are you seriously interested in this job? I said, yeah, I would love to learn this role. You know, I'm getting ready to retire in a couple of years. This may be something, you know, that I could do in retirement.
Sure.
I'm old enough to know what to say, but still young enough to be able to be active and move around.
Yeah, and to learn, right?
Applied, got the job in August of 24, and I just started learning. So it took a lot for the state senator to say, hey, I trust this person that I only met like a handful of times to go out and represent me in this district. So this very district I'm running for, I was working in. So I was meeting a lot of the stakeholders.
Sure.
When she got elected, she left office in January, and I was like, well, what do I do? I'm not gonna apply to go with her federally. Maybe I'll just wait for the next state senator, see if I can get a job.
Yeah.
I kind of like this. I like being out, helping people, talking to people about how the state can help them, not just
informing.
How the state.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I ended up, I got transferred over to the Senate caucus, working for them, kind of still doing the same thing, district assistant, working with constituents who had issues with the state, going to whatever event I can go to in the district, say, hey, you know, people are concerned about this. You know, Bangor Township's concerned about the roads. How come we don't have funding for local roads? Superintendents are worried about this. Like, special education needs are growing. How do we get more funding into our public schools for special education? Credentialing or licensing for being a special education teacher is way more than being a regular teacher. How does that teacher not incur all that debt? So taking these all back to the caucus, which most of they're aware of, but it's all new to me. So I'm like fired about hey, these teachers, you know, or this labor union is talking about this, or these constituents in this part of town want to know how come these houses are being torn down, right? And learning the difference between local control items, state controlled items, and federally controlled items.
Yes.
Right? They're not all the same.
They're not.
But they're intertwined.
We do think they are, though.
Yeah. So in this process, a couple people was like, hey, you think you probably should run for that seat? And you'll get that quite a bit, like, you're an outwardly person, and they'd be like, hey, you should run for this, you should run for this. You're like, nah, no. That's not. I was like, I'd rather be behind the scenes pushing a person I believe in.
Yeah.
And so I sat down one day, and I said, could I run for this?
Yeah.
So I put my pros down, and I put my cons down, and I had a conversation with a few mentors, people I trust in making this decision, my parents. And I said, you know what? I think I'm gonna do it. So we had some conversations. I had some conversations with the Congresswoman, had some conversations with some other people. And I says, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, how do you do it? Like, what's the process? Like, I've never met a person personally that I grew up around in Bridgeport or in Saginaw that had ran for office.
Yeah.
Like, local offices is different than how you file for multi-county things.
Sure.
So fast forward to cut through the story, I filed. People that I had dealings with took a step back, because now it's not, hey, Chedrick Greene, the good guy, the Marine, the firefighter, the guy trying to be out in the community. Now we're talking politics. And our politics may not align, but they actually align more than people let on to believe. So it was my best friend, my brother-in-law, and it was like, we don't know what we're doing either, but we're gonna fail together. I'm not gonna let you fail by yourself.
Yeah.
And so from those two, and then I had a young man that found me at one event, it's like, I wanna work for you, I believe in you, let me know what you wanna do. And he would call me every day, every week. I was like, I have nothing for you, because nobody's returning my calls, nobody answered my calls. So we just start chipping away.
I mean, 7 months, you all did a lot in 7 months. I mean, that is almost record breaking. I mean, honestly, if in regards to the amount of time that you decided, put everything in motion, and then when the train started going, I mean, it seemed like fast speed to me. I mean, I don't know. And so I think that's great.
Yeah,
that's incredible. And I'm sure it was such a roller coaster.
Yeah.
I mean, going through that and learning along the way. Yeah.
You know, and it hurt me when, you know, I stay away from the negative comments now.
Sure.
Not that, you know, those are still constituents,
Sure.
some of them,
Yeah.
but they just trying to antagonize me. But those are still people I got to represent. But
Sure.
if they knew every door that was slammed in my face that I stuck my foot in and say, no, you're going to listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's where I'm at. This is who I am. What type of person are you? My biggest challenge, and I think this is where it really changed for me, where my focus hit, is my tax guy. Tax guy, been my tax guy for 5 years.
Yeah.
Sitting there getting your taxes done, we've had so many conversations about business and about zoning, and because he owns a few things, and I was looking to get into a little bit more of a real estate portfolio. So we would talk business. Yeah, we had this business brunch. You should come, blah, blah. I called him up and I says, hey, I need some money from you. I need some money for my campaign. And he's like, well, I don't think our policies align. And I was like, at first I was like, okay, that's fine. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
Then probably like a day later, I said, wait a minute. Let me re-engage. So I called him back. I says, hey, did we not talk about this, and this? We agreed on these 8 things, and we didn't agree on these 2 things. So we're more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
I says, I tell you what, I'll let you sit on it.
Yeah.
If you feel like donating to the campaign, then you do. If you don't, I just wanted to clear this air. So it took him about a month. He texts me, says, I'm gonna send you $800. Because I asked for $1,000. I said, I'm gonna send you $800 because we agree on 8 things.
That's those 8 things, yeah.
We agree on those 8 things. Right? He's an accountant, so his numbers.
I'm with that. I get it.
And so I was like, man, that makes sense. So that's when I started breaking down how we are more alike.
Yeah.
Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, progressive, conservative. Like I'm a middle of the road kind of guy. I have you know, friends that are Trump supporters, diehard. You can't tell them anything wrong, but they donate to me and believe in me because of my integrity.
Sure. And they,
my courage,
and they know you,
my character, right? And so just building off of that, that's how we got going.
Yeah, yeah. No, I appreciate that. And I like that story because it is interesting, not just with politics, but just money, period. For some reason, money makes people really uncomfortable, right? And so I'm a straight shooter, so I'll just say, hey, this is what, you know, I need information about. Not even asking for money, but just tell me how to get to the money, right? And people get so weird about it. And I'm like, I'm not asking you for it. Just don't gatekeep. Give me the information. And so, but I found that in just my own particular walk is that does kind of get interesting at times.